How's it going, guys? My name is RighteousNicky and welcome back to World of Warcraft Legion. Haven't done a video from quite a while, but patch 7.1.5 just came in Europe, and with it the Brawler's Guild. This is probably one of my favorite contents throughout World of Warcraft. I really like solo content, solo PvE content, and this brings you just that. Now, I decided to bring you some tips and some general tips of how you can deal with, in my opinion, the three hardest fights in this brawl. So the first, probably harder one fight that you're going to witness is this one right here. It's called Master Paku. Yep, this is basically Pac-Man. You're going to face that on your level 2 fourth fight, and what you want to do is actually you're going to get spawned and you're going to start auto walking. You cannot control when you walk, but you can control the turning. So basically you don't want to be hitting any of the blue lightning walls, and your goal is to collect one of those golden globes, and you're going to get a buff making you as a ranged caster actually being able to cast while moving. But not only that, but Master Pack is going to get into a state that you can actually damage him without you reflecting his damage. As you can see, when the golden globe buff expires, Master Pack is going to start kicking, and you don't want to be attacking him until then, and also you don't want to be getting his pet. So you have three of those guys, pretty easy after that to deal with that. So the second boss here that I'm going to be showing you is going to be Burnstachio. This is going to be the first boss of level 4. Now, I actually had probably 4 wipes until I figured this out. The thing that you need to figure out first is that how the flames spawn and how the flame despawn. So basically, there are those rain clouds, as you can see, that are traveling around the map. You want to be following one rain cloud until you're being able to grab the water bubble. Now, the water bubble gives you immunity for 15 seconds and also allows you to damage Burnstachio. So basically that is the time when you want to be using your cooldowns. Now, there is a lot of RNG here, because not only that you don't know when where the clouds are going to turn, but also as a melee DPS you want to be leaving you want to be stopped DPSing as soon as the debuff is gone, because there's a pretty high chance that that a flame patch can spawn beneath you. So you want to stop DPSing maybe 2 seconds before the bubble expires and start following the nearest cloud, so you don't die to the fire. Now, this is going to take you some time to get used to, because not only that you need to follow, but there's also some RNG involved. Now, the last boss is actually the last boss of the brawl, besides the secret bosses that I haven't actually started yet, because by the time I managed to get to it, there was tons of people queuing up and it was just taking too much time. Now, this is going to be raid tier. Basically, this is an NPC that goes through the entire raid of Hellfire Citadel. So if you've done the raid, this is going to be a bit useful. This is going to be a bit easier for you, because you're going to know the mechanics of every boss. The first boss, the Hellfire Assault, is basically going to spawn a cleave. The second boss here is Cormrock. He's going to spawn the hand on you, going to grab you. I'm actually not currently focusing the hand, because I have the AF command, I think it was the trinket. And if I switch targets, I'm going to lose my critical strike stacks, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm just basically AoEing the hand, which if you're a class that don't have much sustain, I wouldn't suggest. Now, this is going to be the Death Trolls from I forgot his name. Next up is going to be Gorfion with some purple AoE. Basically, both of the AoEs you want to be dodging that. Now, this is the time where I actually went full burst mode. Bloodlust, Wings, and all my cooldowns. Potion of the Old War, Brawler's Potion, by the way, you can use the 2 potions at once. And this is actually 30 seconds before Berserk. This is when I decide to use my cooldowns, because this is at this point I already have 10 stacks of my critical strike from AF command. Now, the spear here is, the spike here is going to spawn purple waves. You want to be dodging that as best as possible. Zul'Farrak is going to spawn the purple zone that you actually want to be at a pretty decent distance from it because it deals quite a lot of AoE damage. Now Magteridon, you want to save an interrupt for Magteridon because he's going to spawn imps. And the last one is going to be Archimand. You generally don't want to be getting that late into the fight because you can survive like 5 seconds into Archimand, but then he's going to throw you up very high in the air, and basically you generally cannot do any DPS while you're flying, maybe for around 2 to 3 seconds. And this basically happens when you're out of time, and at this point the whole arena actually starts to flame up. So generally you want to be able to finish him till Archimand. Now as a Retri Paladin, I actually had a pretty easy time clearing the bro because one thing I have as an advantage is not only I have a lot of very nice survivability, but also I have the Divine Shield talent that procs when I die. So when actually the timer expires, I have maybe around 5 seconds before I actually die because the Divine Shield keeps me alive. Now the Divine Shield's duration actually I don't think it's the full 8 seconds. I think the arena itself throws you into a execution or something, but it helped me probably through 4 to 5 fights to survive just with the Divine Shield because I didn't have enough DPS. Basically I didn't have enough DPS because I wasn't using the double stacking potion, neither was I using drums. But for this last fight the DPS check is really tight, guys. I definitely suggest you to have drums. And one other thing, always for this fight, especially for the last fight, always try to pre-pot with double potions. Now what I do is pre-pot with Potion of Prolonged Power. It's going to give you, I think it was 2,000 or 3,000 of your main stat, and also the Brawler's Potion, which you can buy with gold from an NPC, which is selling stuff on the entrance of the brawl. Basically he sells like shirts and pets, but also sells those new potions that are you can only use them in the brawl, but they stack with your other potions. So what you want to do is use a Brawler's Potion right when you get summoned into the arena. Use them right away because you actually get put into combat almost instantly. Even if the boss spawns, it triggers the event that puts you into combat, and you want to be using 2 potions, the Bro and Prolonged Power. You can actually use a harder hitting potion like Potion of Old War, but I generally like the Prolonged Power first, and then I use the Potion of Old War with my full burst with the wings. So as I told you, this last boss definitely is going to test your DPS to the maximum. I saw in Wowhead that you actually need around 500k DPS minimum to be able to do it. And also definitely get a drums because the drums is really helpful in the burst situation. I generally use the drums only for the last boss. The only other time I had problem DPSing was one of the bosses previously, Epicos Maximus, basically that boss that has the raptor riding the guitar man, basically shooting everywhere different stuff. I didn't use drums there, but I used the pre-pot, double pot, and again 2 more pots after 1 minute. So basically until Nighthold opens, you're going to have a pretty tight DPS check because I'm actually pretty well geared. I'm 885, but I have a lot of beast gear, and also I have from today actually I have the best legendary, the Chain of Trin, which gives me 20 bonus DPS on my wings. But not only that, I have for the clear itself I had 10 points into my dragon talent, the Paragon talent, which gave me around 10% more DPS, which is also a pretty huge deal. Now This is basically all the tips I can give you for this encounter, guys, but I'm going to be doing the other bonus ones tomorrow. I'm not going to be showing you the big bros that you get all the people inside the bro and try to do the different stuff depending on the bro. By the way, the the Strangleton one was my favorite, definitely, when you just need to run naked and survive. But I'm not going to be showing you those because they're generally pretty easy. But yeah, guys, this is going to be everything from me from today, and thank you for watching. And until next time, stay righteous. I'm actually going to engage with the Syndragosa. They're going to swallow them all. Going to get disengaged, but murder them from the side with the Q. Going to land it on Vawa. Liming Vawa is going forward with the damage. Karazim following up on the Liming. She died somehow. I think to run this ultimate, I'm not really sure. But we managed to pick a kill. Karazim though is going to die to the tomb. We still have this fort frozen, so that's pretty nice.